In today's video, 3 questions all instructional coaches should ask teachers when designing tech-rich learning. Hello coaches! Welcome back to another 5-Minute Friday. My name is Kim and today's video is part of a short mini-series on supporting technology-rich learning. We know that summer is a time when many teachers and coaches like to do a little bit of learning, but not everyone, and that's okay. These videos will be available year-round. This short summer learning series is focused on how you, as an instructional coach, can support all stakeholders in your school community. We'll be highlighting ways that you can help teachers design technology-rich learning experiences, like in today's video, as well as ways that you can support parents in a one-to-one learning environment. We hope you enjoy this short series. Today's video is 3 questions all instructional coaches should ask teachers when designing tech-rich learning. The goal, of course, is to develop authentic, relevant, and purposeful use of technology to give students an audience, give them some agency and some purpose in an authentic context for them to demonstrate their learning. In order to do that, there are 3 questions, and actually there's a bonus preview question that I always ask when I'm working with teachers. So I'm curious to see if these are the same questions that you ask your teachers. So let me know in the comments below if these are questions you ask when you're working with teachers as well. So I'm going to start with the bonus because the bonus is the question before the questions. And the very first most important question that I always ask teachers whenever I'm working with them, whether it's on technology or anything else, is what do you want students to know and be able to do? If you're familiar with understanding by design or any backwards planning, this should be no surprise, but it's really interesting how often teachers can struggle to answer that question. So starting with what do you want students to know and be able to do, it's critical to help you as the coach understand exactly what the goals are for this unit from the teacher's perspective. Sometimes if that's a really difficult question and we can't quite get there, I often will ask teachers, what's the big picture understanding that you want students to take away from this well beyond the unit? Or another great pre-question could be, so what? Why is this important? Understanding why students are doing what they're doing and how teachers are often asking them to demonstrate that learning will help you design an authentic, purposeful, relevant use of technology through the series of the next 3 questions as you're working with that teacher. So, once you know what teachers want students to know and be able to do, you can start figuring out how to use technology to give them that authentic, purposeful, and relevant experience. And oftentimes that comes in with demonstrating learning. So the first question I often will ask teachers is, how is this content relevant to your students' lives today? Where do we see it in the news? How does it impact our lives on a regular basis? Or how can we make an impact or make a difference in the world today? So that first critical question is, how is this content relevant to your students' lives today? I have had teachers say to me, I don't know. And if you don't know, we need to figure it out together, because if you don't know as a teacher, it's going to be really hard for students to see the relevancy to their lives. So pretty much anything you're learning in the classroom can be relevant to our lives today. And if the teacher doesn't know the answer to that question, we can find it together. And that's what my job is as a coach. The second question is, what would a professional in this field do to demonstrate their learning? Are there some role models, some experts in this area? Are there some famous people we can actually point to that are actually doing this work right now? Are there experts we can look to, maybe even invite into the classroom? Can we use some real-world text types? How would we see this content demonstrated in their field today? And if none of that works, one great question I like to ask is, how would you learn about this topic today? And all of those questions can help us understand or determine a great way for students to demonstrate their learning. They can talk to experts to find out how experts demonstrate their understanding, or they can use real-world examples of how others demonstrate their learning and then create that exact same kind of content within the classroom. Or they could take the path of, if I was going to learn about this today, this is how I would do it. Therefore, I would like to make something that contributes to that wealth of knowledge. The third question is about audience. And the question is, who cares about this work? It needs to be more than just you as the teacher or your students or your other classmates. So Some strategies we can use with this is to use an existing purposeful platform where there is community interest in the content, like an Amazon or Goodreads review, like all recipes to post a recipe, or even contributing to a global community like the SketchUp Warehouse, or places where people are actually contributing content and they want to find other people's content. Another great option is using tools that have built-in community like Medium or Flickr or SoundCloud, where those spaces are designed to share with others and build community. And then, of course, there's options to connect with another class or share in a purposeful space like the Student Voices collection on NPR. And then you can even create iTunes podcasts, iBooks, books, or App Store apps. Finding spaces where there is a purposeful audience for student work is so much better than just kind of putting it out there and hoping other people find their work. Of course, if you have a PLN, a personal learning network, you can also connect with other teachers who are doing similar things, and that can provide an audience for your students. All right, so to get to authentic, relevant, and purposeful use of technologies in the classroom to give students an audience, give them some agency and some purpose in an authentic context, there are 3 critical questions we can ask teachers when we're working with them as coaches, plus 1 bonus question before the question. And that bonus question is, what do you want students to know and be able to do? The follow-up questions are, how is this content relevant to your students' lives today? What would a professional in this field do? And who cares about this work? Let me know if these are the questions you use. I found them really successful when I'm working with teachers, but I'd love to know what strategies you use in your classroom to create authentic, purposeful use of technology when working with classroom teachers. If you're taking time this summer to do a little professional learning and you're focusing in on how you can best support your entire stakeholder community, from students and teachers to parents and school leaders, check out our book, Your Connected Classroom, a practical guide for teachers. It has everything we use when we're working with all members of our school community to help them embrace technology-rich learning. We wrote this book for teachers, so it's full of practical tips and strategies exactly the way we would use them with our teachers as coaches. You'll have everything you need to support technology-rich learning in one book and the companion website that has tons of resources and practical downloads that you can use in your school community as soon as you get back to school. Plus, when you're done with the book, you can share it with another teacher or a school leader or maybe even a parent in your school community. Our book is available right now on Amazon in Kindle or paperback format. The link is in the description box below. Of course, we still have tons of great online learning opportunities for you and a practical freebie linked in the description box too. Please comment down below if you have a question or a strategy for working with your stakeholder community. We want to help you coach better. Thank you so much for watching today. If you enjoyed any part of this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us know what we should focus on. If you want to see more great coaching tips and strategies in under 5 minutes, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notifications bell to find out every time we release a new episode. If you're looking for even more coaching resources, head over to edurolearning.com/coachbetter to explore over 20 online courses designed by coaches for coaches. And catch us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Eduro Learning to connect with us. See you next week for 5 Minute Friday.